The first day of medical college was like stepping into a brand new world. Hundreds of students walked through the gates, each carrying books, bags, and bright dreams in their eyes. The atmosphere was full of excitement, laughter, and nervous energy. Among them was Aarav, a young boy from a small town. He was shy by nature, but carried a strong determination inside his heart. For him, becoming a doctor was not just a profession, it was his life's mission. In another corner of the same campus walked Sania. She was different from Aarav in almost every way. She was cheerful, outspoken, and full of life. Where Aarav hesitated to start a conversation, Sania could light up a room with her smile. She was the kind of person who made friends easily, not because she tried, but because her kindness attracted everyone naturally. Their first meeting was unplanned. Aarav was in the library on that very first day, confused, searching through shelves for a heavy medical reference book. Sania, who was already familiar with the section, noticed him struggling. She pulled out the exact book and handed it over. "Here," she said with a gentle smile. "This is the one you're looking for." Aarav, surprised by her kindness, looked up nervously. "Oh, thank you. I was searching for it for 10 minutes. That small moment passed quickly, but it left an impression on both of them. Over the next few weeks, their paths kept crossing. In lectures, they often ended up sitting in the same row. In the cafeteria, they found themselves standing in the same line. Slowly, they began to talk more, sharing notes and helping each other with assignments. What began as casual conversations grew into long discussions about life, family, and dreams. Sania's laughter soon became Aarav's favorite sound, and Aarav's sincerity, his quiet nature, and his dedication to studies made Sania respect him deeply. One evening, after a long anatomy lecture, Sania suggested they sit under the big banyan tree near the college ground. That evening turned out to be a turning point in their friendship. "Aarav," she said thoughtfully, "do you know what my dream is?" Aarav shook his head. "What is it?" "My dream," she said with eyes full of determination, "is to become a doctor who treats people for free, especially the poor. I don't want money to stand between life and death. If a child is dying because their family cannot afford medicine, then what kind of doctors are we? What kind of human beings are we?" Aarav looked at her in awe. For a moment, he forgot to reply. Finally, he whispered, "That's beautiful. Honestly, Sania, I've never heard anyone speak like this. And I want to tell you something. If your dream is to heal the poor, then my dream is to stand by your side. I will become a doctor, not only for myself, but for you and for your dream." Sania laughed and teased him. "So, Dr. Aarav, you are going to help me change the world?" "Yes," he said with a quiet seriousness. "With you, always." From that day onward, their friendship slowly turned into love. It was never dramatic, never loud. It was in the little things, walking back from lectures together, studying in the library late at night, sharing lunch during breaks, and encouraging each other before exams. Everyone in the college noticed the bond they shared. Some teased them, some admired them, but Aarav and Sania didn't care. For them, the world outside didn't matter. What mattered was the little world they had created together. Their love gave meaning to their struggles. Medical college was not easy, sleepless nights, endless books, difficult exams, but when they were together, everything felt possible. But life has its own way of testing people. It began with small things. Sania started feeling unusually tired. She caught fevers that wouldn't go away easily. At first, Aarav dismissed it as stress from studies. But when the weakness and fatigue continued, he insisted that she undergo medical tests. "It's probably nothing serious," Aarav said, though his eyes betrayed his worry. Sanya, always the brave one, smiled and replied, "You worry too much, Dr. Aarav. I'm fine." But when the reports came, Aarav's hands shook as he read them. His face turned pale, his heart raced, and tears welled up in his eyes. The words stared back at him like a nightmare cancer. He couldn't believe it. For a moment, his world collapsed. The girl who wanted to heal the world, the girl who carried a dream bigger than herself, was now fighting for her own life. When he went to meet Sanya with the reports, he couldn't hold back his tears. "Why you, Sanya? Why does it have to be you?" His voice broke, and he buried his face in his hands. Sanya reached out, touched his hand, and said softly, "Aarav, listen to me. Don't cry. Promise me something." Aarav looked up, his face wet with tears. "What?" "Promise me that you will become a great doctor. Promise me that one day you will be the one to treat me. That will be the happiest day of my life." Aarav shook his head, unable to speak, but finally whispered, "I promise. I promise with all my heart." That night, Aarav swore that he would do everything in his power to keep that promise. From that moment, his life had only one purpose: to fight for Sanya, to save her, and to give her back the life she deserved. He studied harder than ever. Every lecture was no longer just about medical knowledge. It was about Sanya. Every late-night study session was about his vow. Every exam, every practical, every internship, it all became a step toward that one dream: to heal the girl he loved. And yet, while he prepared to heal her, the cruel disease inside her body continued its silent war. Aarav had finally achieved what once seemed impossible. After years of sleepless nights, countless books, practical exams, and endless hours in the hospital, he became a doctor. When he looked at his nameplate, Dr. Aarav Sharma, a smile came across his lips, but his heart whispered, "This degree belongs to Sanya. This white coat is her dream, not mine." The joy of his achievement did not last long, because the very reason he had chosen this path was slipping away from him. Sanya's cancer had reached its final stage. Her health declined rapidly, and she was admitted to the very hospital where Aarav had just joined as a resident doctor. The first time he entered the ward and saw her lying on the hospital bed, weak and pale, his legs trembled. For a moment, he wanted to run away. But then he remembered the promise he had made years ago to become a doctor for her. He tightened his grip on the stethoscope around his neck and walked forward. When Sanya saw him, her tired eyes sparkled for a moment. "So, you finally became Dr. Aarav," she whispered with a faint smile. Aarav forced a smile back, even though his chest ached. "Yes, Sanya. I became a doctor, and now I will be your doctor." From that day, he took complete responsibility for her treatment. Some of the senior doctors warned him that emotions would cloud his judgment, and they asked him if he was sure about handling her case himself. But Aarav replied firmly, "She is the reason I am standing here as a doctor. If there's anyone who should fight for her life, it's me." Aarav lived in the hospital. He stayed beside her bed through the day and worked in the ward at night. Every report, every scan, every injection he checked personally. When her pain grew unbearable, he sat by her side, holding her hand tightly. "Sanya, you must stay strong," he would whisper. "I promised to heal you. I promised you a future." Sanya, weak yet smiling, would answer softly, "Aarav, you have already given me more than I ever dreamed of. You gave me your love. You gave me your promise. Even if my time ends here, I am grateful." But Aarav refused to accept defeat. He read medical journals late into the night, searched for experimental treatments, and consulted the best oncologists. He pushed himself beyond exhaustion, sometimes skipping meals, sometimes collapsing in the doctor's lounge. Yet he always returned to her room, carrying hope in his eyes. During her treatment, both of them often recalled their college days. On quieter nights, Sanya would remind him, "Do you remember the first day we met? You were lost in the library, searching for books." Aarav chuckled faintly. "And you laughed at me because I was holding an anatomy book upside down." Even in pain, Sanya laughed at that memory. That laughter was music to Aarav's ears, and for a moment it felt as if cancer had not touched her. But reality always returned, with the sound of machines beeping, reminding him that time was slipping away. One night, as Aarav adjusted her IV line, Sanya called his name softly. He leaned closer, nervous. Her eyes, though tired, held unusual calmness. "You kept your promise," she whispered. "You became my doctor. But Aarav, sometimes love means accepting what we cannot change. You cannot fight fate. Please don't punish yourself if I go." Tears filled Aarav's eyes. "Don't say that, Sanya. My promise was not just to become a doctor, it was to save you. I can't lose you. I can't imagine a world without you." She placed her trembling hand on his cheek. "Promise me one thing, then. If I leave, don't stop living. Carry my dream forward. Treat the poor. Heal the helpless. Let my dream breathe through you." Her words broke him, yet deep inside, he knew she was right. Despite Aarav's desperate efforts, Sanya's condition worsened. On a quiet evening, when the sky outside turned orange with sunset, she breathed her last. Aarav was by her side, holding her hand tightly, whispering prayers, begging her to stay. But slowly her hand went still. Her lips curved into a faint smile as if she left peacefully, knowing he would fulfill her dream. Aarav's world collapsed. He wept uncontrollably, his cries echoing through the hospital corridor. He felt like a failure, not as a doctor, but as a man who could not save the woman who had given meaning to his life. For days he avoided the hospital, sitting alone in his room with her memories. He replayed every conversation, every laugh, every tear. Guilt consumed him. What kind of doctor am I, if I couldn't even save her? But then, one night, he remembered her final words. "Carry my dream forward." The next morning, Aarav made a decision. He returned to the hospital and resigned from his post. Instead, he rented a small space in a poor neighborhood and opened a clinic. Unlike other clinics, his had no cash counter, no list of fees. A simple board hung outside. Free treatment for all. Healing has no price. At first, people were doubtful. Some even asked, "Doctor, how will you survive if you don't charge money?" Aarav smiled gently. "I am not here to earn money. I am here to honor someone's dream." Slowly, word spread. The poor, the helpless, the forgotten flocked to him. Children with fevers, mothers with malnutrition, old men with chronic pain, everyone found care in Dr. Aarav's clinic. He worked day and night, sometimes skipping food, sometimes collapsing from exhaustion. Yet every time he treated someone, he felt Sonia's presence beside him, smiling proudly. Over time, his clinic grew into a small hospital, run entirely on donations from grateful families and volunteers. Newspapers wrote articles about him, calling him the doctor with a golden heart. Students came to learn from him not just medicine, but compassion. But whenever someone asked why he never charged money, his answer remained the same. "Once, I loved a girl whose dream was to heal the world. I couldn't save her life, but I can keep her dream alive." Every night, after treating dozens of patients, Aarav sat alone in his office. He would look at a photograph of Sonia kept on his desk and whisper, "I couldn't save you, Sonia, but I saved your dream. And through that, I saved a part of you." In those quiet moments, he realized something profound. Their love story did not end with her death. It continued in every life he touched, in every child he saved, in every family he brought hope to. Sonia was gone, but her dream lived through him, and that dream became his eternal love story. Love is not always about happy endings. Sometimes it is about sacrifice, about carrying someone's dream forward. Aarav could not save Sonia, but by dedicating his life to healing others, he turned his pain into purpose. Their love story became more than just a tale of romance. It became a legacy of compassion.